probably three things there, Chair. I would say, firstly, the government can have greater advocacy and a strategic vision for what it actually wants to achieve from sport and physical activity in this country. You know, what is the end destination? What does it want to achieve from the role the sector plays in improving the physical, mental and social well-being of the nation, drive economic growth, taking pressure off the NHS. So making that as explicit as it can be, but complemented by creating an environment that is encouraging business investment. You know, my members right now, both public and private, are struggling from areas ranging from the business rates, the reduction in business rates exemption, through to the increase in national insurance contributions. And so these are putting pressure on facilities to address operating costs. So there is the environment that can support investment. Secondly, working across the sector as a whole is a strategic plan for facilities, public and private. What have you got in areas right now? What's succeeding? Where are the challenges, especially around not just the growth of facilities, but the renewal of facilities with an ageing stock, especially in public sector? And what's your strategic plan for then delivering that? And then thirdly, it's then around how you then access and deliver that renewal and growth in facilities. So that's looking at planning regulation, looking at the revitalisation of high streets, where especially my private operators are really thriving. You know, access to, you know, high street gyms starts at £4 a week in this country, which is half a pint in the Red Lion. And so it's really competitive in terms of price. Then you're looking at the integration with wider projects such as housing, looking at the co-location of facilities, how you're co-locating gyms and leisure facilities with GP services, with banks, with wider community services, so you actually get a real bang for your buck. And then thirdly, as both Peter and Rob have said, is around alternative streams of investment. The renewal, and especially the renewal of facilities, is not going to come from the Exchequer alone, I would think, in the next 3 or 4 years. And so alternative streams of investment coming in are really important. We have to recognise that the private sector is already attracting hundreds of millions of pounds of private investment equity funding into the sector already in this country. There's lessons to be learned from the private sector about how they're doing that. But then, you know, as the Chancellor's been talking about in the last couple of weeks, pension fund investment for infrastructure should include sport, leisure and physical activity as well.
Very good. Thank you very much.